And away we go. Good evening, folks, and welcome to my kitchen here on this Sunday evening, where we've gone live, largely because I'm making a lot of effort this evening because we are doing one of the favorite things to do in cast iron, and that is fried chicken. So, yes, I've gone without a previous announcement, so I'm figuring folks will be showing up to watch, or you could at least watch the replay at least. And hello, D Pal. Hey, y'all. Yes, good evening. We've only just begun, and again, I apologize for not announcing this in advance, largely because I didn't know when it was going to start. But, I think you can see what we have here. We have chicken that has been soaking in buttermilk since this morning. And what we're about to do is get out some breading. And I'm quite happy because it's been a couple of years since I've been able to use this chicken breading. Folks on my channel may recognize this stuff. This is the same stuff that they use in the fried chicken spot. You know, the place that they usually call Crown Fried Chicken or Kennedy Fried Chicken. Yeah, I actually discovered this stuff a few years ago, and I made a point of ordering it every so often so that we're going to have ourselves essentially some Crown Fried Chicken tonight. And I'm definitely looking forward to that. However, I'm going to have to do this carefully because I don't want to spill this stuff all over the place. And I realize as well, I'm going to need to find a place to store this breading when we're done. But nonetheless, this is what the commercial stuff looks like. Apparently, there isn't even any flour mixed in with it. I mean, what do we have here? What do these ingredients say here anyway? Ingredients. Oh, I'm wrong. Wheat flour, salt, spices, garlic powder, onion powder, monosodium glutamate, and the rest of it is actually covered up by the label. What a shocker there. But let's get started carefully. There we go. Okay, dig out, and this is going to be pretty simple anyway. This recipe here only requires pretty much this breading and nothing else. It says here you're supposed to mix 2 cups of this breading with 1 cup of buttermilk. I don't have buttermilk available other than what I've been using on the chicken, and maybe I might even use that, but I don't know. 2 cups of this and maybe another cup or so of the dried breading so that we can double dip. That way we can start up. That way we can go from wet to dry. All right, maybe I'll do 2, and that should be plenty. Of course, if we're using this stuff, which is kind of a lot more expensive than just simply making it yourself, and also because of all of the effort that we're making into going into making all this fried chicken, I'm making sure to get as much use out of it as possible. So we're also going to have onion rings tonight too. All right. Anyway, hello as well. Hello, Jose Latias and Pat Z. And my wife just made some chicken stir-fry egg rolls and some bang bang chicken. That sounds good. And hello, Pat Z and Cynthia Wesley. I should say, yes, been a while, Jose. I should say, as always, by the way, I'm not asking anybody to interrupt their Sunday schedules for this because, well, again, as I said, I didn't announce this in advance. Nonetheless, if anybody wants to watch in the background, please feel free to do so. Otherwise, you can, of course, always watch the replay. All I ask, of course, is that you watch just because I'm putting some effort into this. So we have 2 cups of the breading, which we are now mixing with 1 cup. I'm just using whole milk here, even though they're supposed to use buttermilk. I'm sure it'll be fine. And let me put this milk back in the fridge. Mix. And then we will start with the chicken. So let me dig out. Here we are. Spatula. Anyway, that's the nice thing about this commercial stuff is that it's so easy to use. In fact, it's the instructions say you can mix it with water or buttermilk. All right, so that yeah, that's why again at the old chicken spot they do things nice and cheap. Hmm. Seems like it's pretty darn thick actually. If this is 2 cups breading and 1 cup milk, yeah. Boy, look at this stuff. I have to say, I'm not going to trust those instructions. I think I'm going to put a little bit more milk into this, or maybe even might even want to water it down maybe a little bit. I'll try a little bit more milk, and then if I have to put in just a little bit of water, I will. There we go. Besides, hopefully that'll help extend the amount of use I get out of this because I've lost count. I think I've got either 10 or 12 pieces of chicken in there. All right. Yeah, that's looking better, I think, especially since we are going to double dip anyway. Despite all of this effort and all these resources, of course, fried chicken is not hard to make. So I'm looking forward to having a little bit of fun with this. Hmm. Yeah, that was thick. I thought it was biscuit dough. Yes, exactly. I thought it was too thick, in fact. I was using the instructions, even though the instructions said to use water or buttermilk. I've pressure fried in my pressure cooker a few times. It's crazy dangerous, but the chicken is great. I don't doubt it. However, I do think this is looking much better now, which means let's start doing some chicken. Let me move my view over a little bit so that you can see the whole process. That's pretty good there. All right, and here we go. Especially since these things have been in buttermilk already. Got some nice big pieces here too. I like that. One. Yeah, this is thick stuff, all right. I might even need to water it down a little bit more. Look at this. All right, so after this one, I think I will actually add a little bit of water to this because, yeah, like I said, it's pretty darn thick. One. And then into the dry breading. It shouldn't be too hard. There we go, and there's one. Well, based on that, as I said, I'm going to actually put a little bit of water in this and mix it a little bit more. I only used about a dab of water or so, maybe a couple of tablespoons. There we go. Much better. Anyway, that was one. So yeah, I'm not exactly used to using this stuff either. It's been at least a couple of years, but well, I will learn along with everybody else. Here comes two. And I do think this is working out a little better now. That's two. Toss it around. Oh, yes. I do have a dinner guest tonight, and she did comment that the last fried chicken didn't seem to have enough seasoning in the breading. So it's one reason why I took the time to get this stuff. There's two. Now comes number three. This and that. so good. All right. I think I can I think I can put the oven back on at this point too. My preparations, I was already heating up the oil in the pan, and it had gotten pretty hot a lot faster than I expected. It was already at 250 even before I started going live. So I didn't want to be sure it didn't get too hot before I was done with this. But we should be doing okay now. So that's three. Here comes number four. All right, little bits here. So anyway, I never thought to use lodges. Lodges? Oh, tongs for breading. Yes, exactly. Yeah, because I really am. I'm a little tired as well of getting my hands all sticky from the chicken coating. And also, I intentionally left a lot of skin on this drumstick because I like the skin. Right. So I guess it's like I'm making the chicken the way I like. I would like to get it. that that didn't do enough. There we go. Four. Now comes number five. Looks like, based on this rack here, I'm going to have to do 8 pieces. And while I'm doing that, I will do the rest of it, which sounds good. It also looks like this breading, I think this will last actually at this point if we're already at 4 pieces here. The only problem with using the tongs, of course, is that there's the chance of ripping the skin, which may be the reason why a lot of people don't do that. Okay. Not sure if you hear anything in the background. That's just the TV. However, I think my microphone is probably canceling most of that out. So, here's five. Now comes number six. And while we're waiting here, am I the only one who thinks thighs and drums are the best part of the chicken? Oh, I definitely think that too. I do like the breasts as well, yes, but definitely I much prefer the thighs and the drums. I am not a fan of wings. Maybe I'm in the minority, but I always thought wings had too little meat and too much bone. So I've not been a fan of wings. Sometimes when I go out and order chicken, I specifically ask for no wings. They usually give an extra charge for that, of course, because there's an excuse to charge more. But so be it. It's their business. They make the rules. Okay. There's six. And now from here comes number seven. Yeah, I think that's how we'll do it. We'll do this, then the next piece of chicken, and then after that, we will do some onion rings. I also have some fries too, assuming the onion rings aren't enough. There we go. The breading, as you saw, is a brand they call Texas breading. Don't know why it's called that. Maybe they make it in Texas. I'm not sure. But yeah, as I said, I did research and found that this is the actual stuff they use at cheap fried chicken joints. You know, the usual Crown or Kennedy or the like. And I've already told my Kennedy fried chicken story that I first ate it in New York City in year 2010, maybe a couple of months or so before I learned how to cook. And I have enjoyed um, that cheap fried chicken ever since. And here's number 8. Yay. Means from here, we will be able to go on to do some frying. All right. And hope I'm not wasting too much time with these preparations. But I kind of felt like going live. Whoops, I forgot the dry breading. I kind of felt like going live, especially, kind of like give myself the incentive to go through all this. Not to mention, afterwards, I'll be able to edit this down into a YouTube video that takes out the boring parts. Okay, and there, more or less indeed. Here are 8 pieces of chicken, so that's not a bad start. Which means now that we've done this, it's time to move over and look at some cast iron. Yay! There we go. Lights. Say hello to the Lodge deep fryer. I've told this story before too, namely that this is the deep fryer that comes with the wildlife lid. Lodge made this after they took the design over from Birmingham Stove and Range. So they made these things starting in, I think, like 1993 up until maybe about 10 years later in maybe 2002 or so. Let's see what our temperature is like right now. We are at 275, 278, 280, 284. All right, so we do still have a little bit of time yet. I can probably turn up the heat a little bit just to be sure that the temperature does get up there, because I am aiming for 375. When I fry my chicken, I try to do that because, as you know, there is a temperature drop, uh, significant temperature drop. In fact, when you put the chicken in the oil, and I don't want the temperature to drop too much, so I tend to go up to 375 for my frying here. Hmm. Handsome Stone, we found a tile top baster Griswold with slant logos number 8. Nice. Appears to be matching and Wagner plated combo cooker. Boy, 1941? My understanding is those Wagner combo cookers were somewhere around the 1940s or so. So that's not so bad. The Griswold, if it's a large logo, then that would date it from anywhere to like the late 1920s to the early 1940s when they switched over to the small logo. Typically, most people just summarize it and say 30s to 40s for the large logo Griswold. That's a lot of oil. Yeah, exactly. That's one reason why, as I said, I put all this effort into it because, yeah, it's probably like at least 3 quarts of oil in here. So, which is necessary, of course, for deep frying. But that's also one reason why I really enjoy this deep fryer here. That certainly helps cut down on the splatter. What do you do with the leftover oil? Well, I know most people say you can strain it and use it again, which I may consider doing, but really, since I live by myself, I might just simply dispose of the leftover oil and then, well, wait about a month or two before I have the urge to deep fry again. Yeah. New York City. New York City. Yes, indeed. It was in New York City that I first discovered Kennedy cheap fried chicken. I had never had it because in those days I was living in Massachusetts. And while there are some of those chicken spots in Massachusetts, I had never encountered any of them. And it was, yeah, the story was a lot of fun because I'll never forget the date, of course, October 10, 2010, 10, 10, 10. That was the night of the big New York Subgenius Revival. And I had gone with my closest friends to New York City for that. We had a lot of fun at that. at that. And so we got out of it. Finally ended maybe something like around midnight or so. But of course, New York is the city that never sleeps. And we were taking a cab from the Divival back to my our hotel room. And as we were driving by, I just saw something out of the corner of my eye that said Kennedy Fried Chicken. And I commented about that. I said something like, "Oh no, they're not. Oh no, they're not trying to imitate KFC, not at all." At which point, my girlfriend at the time, she's the one who shouted out, "Oh, ghetto chicken!" Yeah, that's the word that she used. And she said, "Oh, we're eating there tonight." And I said, "What? There? Yeah. Uh, okay." So we got back to the hotel room and then headed right out. Oh, and by the way, we had dressed up in costumes for the Subgenius Survival, meaning that the first time I tried, this is a true story, by the way. The first time I actually had chicken spot fried chicken in New York City, my friends and I were walking the streets of New York City at about 1 a.m. on a Saturday night, dressed in Ren Fair costumes to go to a place that served chicken behind bulletproof glass. And we got the chicken, went back to the hotel, and that was when I tried Kennedy Fried Chicken for the first time. And yeah, I guess I sort of fell in love with it because I've enjoyed it ever since. I also found the bad parts of Kennedy Fried Chicken, namely the part that the rolls are almost always stale and tasteless. The fries are often, but not always, bland. And since I've been talking so much, let's see what the temperature here is like. We are now at 317, 324, 326. Okay, 330. It looks like we're finally going to be able to fry this chicken in maybe about 5 minutes or so. So we are getting close here. Has anyone heard from Peg Tooth? Well, I do hope things are okay there. Not just the cast iron, it's the community. Okay. Did you just restore that fish fryer again? Well, that's one reason why I'm doing this, in fact, because deep frying does a good job of helping to build up the seasoning. So my intention is that hello, Patricia Parsons. Hello. My intention is that once this is all done, whether or not I reuse the oil, I'm going to just clean out this pot, give it a good wiping inside and out. Then I'm actually going to stick it in the oven and bake it at about 450 to 500 degrees for an hour so that it'll be a clean cast iron pot with an additional coating of seasoning. Cynthia Wesley, I got a doctor's appointment in the morning, which means I get to go to my lucky thrift store. Well, best of luck with that. Hi, did you just restore? And she wonders why. Yeah, Jose Latias. Hello to your wife, Patty. Why do you watch? Well, yeah, like you said, she doesn't have cast ironitis. Well, of course, you could always watch the replay or just keep this on in the background. Nonetheless, well, I'd like to think that these YouTube videos here are just about as interesting as whatever you could have on TV. Unless, of course, if you're watching something more interesting on TV, well, then you're not watching it here. Pardon me. And while we're at it, oh yeah. I just met two ladies come through your area. They'd been there before Christmas. I prefer live, more fun to chat. Yeah, I mean, I enjoy these live chats as well. Even although one reason why I've the number of long form videos I produce has unfortunately decreased significantly. Excuse me, is because of the way YouTube changed their algorithm within the last year. Namely, that if you look in the videos on my channel, the long form videos here, it's rare that any of them gets over 1,000 views. Whereas the short videos that take very little effort are getting an average of 2, 3, and 4,000 views each. So, oh, good, we're there. We're at 367, 368, 369, 370. All right, there we go. Time to fry. So let's move this. Got to move a couple of things over here. There we go. That's a pretty good view. And that's what's more, I'll be able to move the chicken right over here too. Here it comes. There. Come on, you know what. And there we go. And this I can put in the sink actually. All right, get rid of those tongs, although these tongs have a lot of extra goop on them now, so I'm going to have to scrape this off. I can't talk too much more because the temperature, I don't want the temperature to get too hot. But there we go. Let us, let us start frying. Might as well do the big pieces first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not sure if I can fit it all. 7. That might be all I can fit. 7 pieces. So I'm actually going to have to wait on this last one. All right. Well, while we're waiting, I can always do the next batch of chicken here. Get that ready. But I think you folks would probably want to see the action and see the frying here. Put out grease fires with salt. Yes, exactly. You should have a fire hose ready. Well, as a matter of fact, I do have my kitchen fire extinguisher ready. So I do my best to be prepared. All right, and while we're waiting, let's take care of the rest of this chicken here. The nice thing about really deep frying as opposed to shallow frying is quite simple. And I learned this trick from the deep fried king as well, namely that when the chicken starts to float, you know that it's done. So that's not so bad. If you use salt, you can save the mikal. All right. Meanwhile, I'm getting this next batch of chicken ready here as best as I can. Okay. Good. It's getting all over the place now. 2. I will never give up my fish fryers, same as my guns. Yeah, they'll take away my fish fryer when they pry it out of my cold, dead hands. Who knows? When I pass away, maybe I'll be cremated and have them bury me in one of my cast iron pots. There's a thrift store I've been wanting to check out. It's called Texas Thrift. Well, best of luck. Well, thank you very much, Patricia. And I really don't have much of an answer to that. I mean, what can I say? I'm here to have fun. And these videos here certainly do help make this a lot of fun for me. And I hope for other folks as well. All right. So far, I'm now at 3 pieces of chicken. Boy, from the looks of this, I think we're going to have at least, am I counting 14 pieces here? I think I might have done more than I expected. Which means we're going to have to do another full batch of chicken after this. Oh, what a shame. I want to do it here. That's right. in San Antonio off of 410. I also think I might want to throw in a little bit more of the dry breading. So let's do it. There you go, that'll help. I can definitely smell that chicken already, so that's a good sign. I'm hoping my guest can smell the chicken as well. Are you there? Oh, I think she's busy watching TV. All right. Nonetheless, right now I'm working on chicken piece actually it's number 12. I was going to say, well, actually 11 because I only did 7. So we're 11 now. Okay, how do you get rid of your oil? Yeah, I thought the lye idea was genius. Yeah, the lye, I liked the lye idea. The disadvantage to that, of course, it takes like about 2 or 3 pounds of lye, and that does cost at least $5 a pound, depending on where you get it. So it can be expensive to do it that way. So the other option is, well, just simply put it into empty soda bottles, of which I have no shortage of 2-liter soda bottles, and throw it out in the trash. Still much better than pouring it down the drain. All right, there's that and that. Okay, let's try a couple more drumsticks here. Put it in the lawnmower. No, I don't think the lawnmower will do. Oh, I see. That kind of oil you mean. As a matter of fact, I have an electric lawnmower that uses batteries. So I can't just simply put it in the lawnmower, I'm sorry to say. Besides, can you really power a lawnmower with cooking oil? I'm not so sure, especially considering that the cooking oil is full of other stuff, from frying the chicken. So, like it or not, I would think that it would probably clog the motor. And then, well, -1 lawnmower. Again, Jose, me and Papa, and the hands reach of each other. Nice. I filtered and put him in my diesel truck. Okay. I'm actually a little surprised. But nonetheless, still, considering the cost these days, I'm not so sure if it's really that much less expensive than just getting diesel fuel at the gas station. Cost of everything has gone up, unfortunately. Okay. Hello, Rocket Caber. Well, yes, I apologize because I had something of I'm doing something of an unannounced live feed tonight, largely because, well, I just wanted to go live simply because I put all of this effort into preparing this chicken. And it suddenly occurs to me just now that I'm going to need another rack for this chicken. So, excuse me 1 second. I have to prepare a rack for when the chicken comes out of the oven. Oil. Fortunately, I have a couple of extra racks here, so that won't be too difficult. This is what I get for spending the last several years collecting stuff. So there we go. Can't be done already, can it? Let's see. I think I may have to get another tongs. See what it looks like. I really seriously doubt it's done already. No, it's not even starting to float. Who am I kidding? On the other hand, there we go. Just out of curiosity, it can't be right. It can't be right. Somehow this thermometer is already saying 202 degrees. I seriously doubt that. I mean, granted, it looks done. There's no denying that. All right. Well, anyway, as I said, I think I'll wait at least. I think I know what I'll do. I'll take out one, let it cool off a little bit, and then test it. Careful, I don't want these things sticking together. I'll leave that alone for a moment while I'm at 6 pieces of chicken here. And I have number 7 again. All right. I think 7 was all that fit. All right. Now that we've done that, let's see what happens now, shall we? Oh, yeah, no, this thing is shrinking down. Although it's not too bad. It says about, don't want to touch the bone, but I think that last one said about 156. You know, I do believe this may actually be done. Oh, surprised at how fast this is going. And for the record, I'm using canola oil. Using the New York Country television. Oh, now what? Why am I getting a call at this time of night? Oh, that was you? Oh, okay. Okay, no problem. Take one out and set the temperature. Loading, it's done. All right. Well, that actually was even faster than I thought. Yeah. And I don't want to burn it, too. So, we're off to a decent start. There's one. And by the way, look at this, too. Two. 3. 4. 5. 6. And 7. You know, I guess, as I like to say all too often, that's what you get for cooking in cast iron. KFC got me one time. I was eating a drumstick with blood. Ooh, my condolences there. But now that we've done that, what do we have here? Oh, yeah, this thing has definitely dropped down. Although it's going up again, it's at 320. And on this end, it also says about 321, 322. So in another few minutes, we'll be able to do the second batch of chicken. That didn't take long at all. Oh, yeah. The folks on YouTube have been watching it as well. And as they pointed out, when it floats, it's done. And I've double checked the temperature, and I'm pretty sure this time it's not going to be underdone. All right. So that also means I can move this out of the way carefully, but we're off to a decent start here. And yeah, we're going to have no shortage of chicken, all right. So far, I've done 7. I've got another 7 coming in, and it looks like we may even have a couple more yet. I didn't. I kind of overdid it. Yes. All right. Back while we're waiting. Let's do a little bit more of this breading here, a little bit there, a little bit here. How many more pieces of chicken do I have left in that brine anyway? All right. The answer is checking it out. And where did I put those tongs? Ugh. All right, don't panic. Okay, we've got the chicken here. Oh, it's right here. Duh. Of course. All right, let's scrape off the rest of this stuff. I'm definitely going to have to use the rest of this breading, though, and make like some hush puppies or something. However, besides the next 7 pieces here, I have 1, 2, oh man, 3, 1, 2, 3. I think all told, I'm going to be doing something like about 20 pieces of chicken here. Yeah, I kind of overdid it. Oh well. Good evening, everyone. I just got home from picking up a number 7 BSNR. Well, congratulations, Electra Buzz, and nice to see you here as well. Cynthia, Jose, Cynthia, I got sick again a few years later. That's when I decided I better learn how to cook for myself. Yes, I had food poisoning once as well, and I believe it was a salad. In fact, who knows? Excuse me, 1 second. Oh, I was about to sneeze there. All right, I better double check the temperature here because I do not want to burn the oil. 308, 331, 41, 352, 354, 356, 357, 60, 65. Okay, we're good. It's time for batch number 2. Yay. Which means you get to see some more action. And as I like to say, and as they say in Rick and Morty, away we go. Come on. 1. Yeah. 2. 3. Yeah, I seem to be able to do 7 pieces at a time in this fryer. 4, including some big ones. 5. 6. Careful. And finally, ugh, come on, you know what? 7. There. Made it. Boy, look at it go, too. All right. Means I get to switch these things around again. Okay. Well, actually, I'm glad I'm getting all of this chicken out of here because I've already said enough times. It takes a lot of effort to do this. I mean, if I were only doing 2 or 3 pieces of chicken, it would still take several dishes with the with the wet coating, the dry coating, the rack, and the pot with the oil. So that's why I'm glad to rather have overdone it. Or as J.R. Bob Dobbs likes to say, too much is always better than not enough. However, I think I have to throw in a little bit more breading still. Okay. Nonetheless, as always, I hope you folks are enjoying yourselves tonight. My wife's an excellent cook, and we both like to cook. I love my Mexican food, especially carnitas, my favorite thing to make. Nice. And I've only recently learned how to do carnitas the traditional way, which is you slow cook it in lard for like about 2 or 3 hours or so until it's ready to pull apart. And then you pull it apart, and then You fry it, and that is how you do carnitas. At least that's how I think you do carnitas. You're the authentic cook, so you tell me if I said it right. All right, more chicken. Kelly, I did a short stint, a reboot of Good Eats. Oh yeah, you're talking about Alton Brown here. Yeah, Alton Brown was one of the first videos I watched when I was learning how to fry chicken for the first time. I won't forget it, of course. You know, that's when he was talking. That's when he was saying, among other things, that you had to do it in cast iron. Yeah, no surprise there. He cut up a whole chicken nonetheless, and he used a large 12-inch skillet. And I do not recommend using a cast iron skillet for frying chicken because, of course, the splatter gets all over the place. Which is why you got to find some way to take care of that. Maybe use a splatter screen, which I think is what Alton Brown did in that video in that episode, I believe, or use a deep fryer like I did here. All right, 2, 3. For the time, let's do 4. Oh, good. I'm finally running out of chicken here. So that was 7. This is going to be 14. Looks like 15, 16. Looks like I'm doing 17 pieces of chicken here. Think that's enough? Yeah. Fortunately, my close friend here, I've mentioned my friend before. As I said, she chooses to have an internet nickname of Fats because that's what she wants. And I don't like using people's real names on the internet. Fortunately, she's got some neighbors with kids, so I'll be more than happy to give them some chicken tonight. All right, I have cooked on my mallard. It was fun. They do make a good display piece. Yeah, that's why I use my large chicken fryer. I want a fish fryer. I don't have one yet. Well, my fish, well, both of my deep fryers. I mean, I've actually got a BSR Red Mountain deep fryer. You may remember I found that one at Brimfield only going on about 2 years ago. Both of those have been lucky scores. This large one here, in fact, was an eBay score. I managed to get a substantial discount on it because the guy was on eBay was trying to sell it as a Griswold. And I pointed out to him that, in fact, it's a lodge. Because of that, he agreed to let me take it as I said, a substantial discount. And yes, I'm quite happy for that. Definitely, I'm getting to the end of this because I seem to be going through this dry breading pretty fast in this last part. Well, if they look like the last batch of chicken did, then I think we'll be doing pretty good. Ugh, starting to get it all over the place. Not bad. Okay. A little bit more here. All right. I wouldn't be surprised if that chicken is getting close to done again. Not a bad thing that it's frying almost as fast as I can bread it. However, after this, we're going to go the next route and do some onion rings. Okay. Hey guys, I just got here. That's Jimmy Langford. That's funny. I found a way to chicken fryer today. I already have the lid. Well, congratulations on that. Hell yes, I love my splatter shield. I'm praying one of my nieces will show interest in it. Granted, you can't force people to enjoy cooking. And I already said that little story. Well, this is looking nice. Not floating yet, as far as I can tell. And I don't want it to get all bunched together. There we go. So far, so good. Cynthia Wesley, now you need a lid for them. I show all my friends to Papa so he can grade me, and he's very honest. You tell pal, I don't understand people who don't like cooking. They're not from this planet, I think. Well, I've said enough times that until I caught the cooking bug, I would have told you that I couldn't cook to save my life. I think I would. I mean, my family simply had not raised us to be interested in cooking. That was part of the problem. Like it or not, my dear, beloved late grandma, she never really instilled much of an interest in cooking in anyone. I think, as far as she was concerned, cooking was just something the women did. She was an old fashioned Italian grandma, so yeah. But as a result, she would be in the kitchen all the time. Everyone else would be pretty much in the living room waiting for the cooking to be done. She never suggested that people come in and help her, I guess because she was expected to do it all herself. And that's what she imparted on mom as well. So I would say that if you do have kids or nieces or anything like that, offer to have them cook with you and see whether or not they enjoy it. And besides, one thing I do know, kids will be much more likely to eat it if they cook it themselves. So that might certainly help. Oh yeah, I'd say we are getting done here. I don't think there's any problem at all with this. I mean, just look at this. Things are looking pretty good here. That means take this out, let it rest for a couple of minutes, and then test it. And then finally, after this, will be the last 5 pieces of chicken. Actually, make it 6. I just found number 6 in there. All right. Anyway, at least there's plenty of liquid batter for the onion rings, so I don't think there'll be a problem there. So let's get this last piece coated. And then let's get that thermometer again. Test this. Oh yeah, no problem at all. So we now have 14 pieces done. Good grief. I wonder, of course, if the fact that I'm cooking this on a gas stove may be why this chicken is going so fast and the oil is heating up so well. Wow. Sheesh. We definitely have chicken tonight, that's for sure. And chicken tomorrow night and chicken Tuesday night. All right, get back to here. Which means now I get to move these things around again. And then after this will come the onion rings. And this is why one reason why I had to do it on a weekend, because of the amount of time this is taking. I am not asking anybody to stay here for the entire length of time of this video. Just stay if you want for whatever is convenient for you. There's something in here that's still frying. There's a piece of coating dropped off. All right, once again, we check the oil here. What's your favorite movie? Probably 2001, because I'm an old dude. I could say 2001, Star Wars, The Godfather, even more so, Godfather 2, Seven Samurai, probably Taxi Driver. Oh, did I say Star Wars? Well, also Star Wars. Yeah, this is still, yeah, we still have a few minutes yet before we're ready for the last batch of chicken. Ooh, that's hot. The metal thermometer, that is hot. So I got to watch myself. All right, on top of everything else, what I can do while I'm waiting, start preparing the breading, I think, for the onion rings. Even though we still have plenty of time yet. A little bit more of this. Okay. So far, so good. All right, and while we're waiting here, Silence of the Lamb mold. Oh yes, of course. Last year I actually did a video on that lamb mold, and I called it The Science of the Lamb. And yeah, I'm kind of proud of that. One thing I'm not a fan of, deep fried pickle. Love fried pickles, actually. But again, it's just a matter of waiting for this oil to heat up. So while we're waiting, so maybe just a little bit more water into here. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And where is it? Here it is. While we're waiting, carefully, let us do some onion rings. So yeah, this after the chicken is done, this will be the next thing we do. And going along here, only on mud, they showed one for sale. Oh, Texas Roadhouse is really good ones. I see. You're talking about deep fried pickle. It's been years since I've been to Texas Roadhouse, largely because, well, I can make my own steaks for a fraction of the cost that you would pay at Texas Roadhouse or pretty much any steakhouse. I'm not boasting, I'm just simply stating what I think is a fact. check this one more time. $340, $350, $350, $60, $63. Okay, you're ready for the last batch of chicken. Yay. Here we go, one more time. One, two, three, four, five, and six. Come on, you know what? Sticking to the rack at this point. Six. There we go. Now I'm gonna have to clean up this rack before I can put the finished chicken on this. Yep. So into the sink this goes. Boy, listen to it go too. Woof. And pull out one more rack. I know I have to go somewhere. One more decent sized rack. There we go. I think this will be the one. Or the last pieces of chicken. Alright. I probably have the heat up too high, which may be one reason why this thing has been cooking so fast and the oil's been too fast. I'd rather spend my money on a nicer steak and cook it at home than to a less nice steak that costs more because it's at a restaurant. Stepping away for a minute, very cute pit bull looking at me through the door saying, "Feed me," which of course is all they ever say. Bloomin' onion at Texas Roadhouse. I believe that's one thing I have not done yet, a bloomin' onion. I guess that means I'm going to have to try it pretty soon. But my guest wants onion rings, and so she will get onion rings. My wife says only cowards cook on low. Well, don't hold back. Tell us what you really think, Rocky Tabor. Nonetheless, this isn't so hard. I am still getting oil splatter, but it's not as bad as it could be. Anyway, we have so much chicken that, quite frankly, if you want to try a piece, feel free. Oh, yeah, as she says, you don't have to tell me twice. Might still be hot. I'll take that as a yes. You need a plate? Okay. And of course, let me know what you think, including the seasoning and the coating. I had better take at least one picture of this finished chicken. That way, at least I'll have some evidence of all the work tonight. And also, this would make a nice thumbnail, I think, for the video here. Yeah, that does not look bad at all. Turn this off. Besides, this is not Cast Iron Wednesday, so I'm trying to be as laid back as I can. What happened, Jose? Oh, my pit bull just passed. Oh, my condolences, Jose. I'm sorry to hear that. Blooming onions are all about the sauce. Mm. I know the feeling. I already mentioned before that I lost my cat Trouble last year, unfortunately. Miss Mobley's doing fine, but yeah, it's really, I mean, really, it's like when you lose a pet, you are losing a part of your family. So definitely, very much my condolences. Chicken okay? No, she says yeah. So also, I think her mouth is full, so it's a little hard for her to really go into detail over it. Uh, these things are looking nice. And once again, it just doesn't come out the same if you don't do it in cast iron. I know you can pressure cook them, like you said, and that's usually how they do it in the restaurants, of course. Hubby said that he wants some of that chicken, Val's Black Cats. No, he'd have to drive all the way out to Binghamton for some, I'm afraid. Yeah, Patricia Parsons. I miss. Yeah, I loved Trouble too. He was so much fun. I mean, he lived up to his name definitely, but he was really mischievous. But he was so friendly. I would have gladly trusted him with kids. Oh well. No, I shouldn't say just oh well, but well, again, it's been almost it was last May, so all I can do is just move on and remember him. Test another piece, and then after this, we will get on with the onion rings. Which I have stirring around in the batter right now. So the onion rings are gonna be even faster than the chicken. I mean, they'll take what, maybe 3 or 4 minutes to cook, I think. So that's not so bad either, especially in a large pot like this. Well, I can only hope so, Pluto. Anyway, anybody ever here eat crispy, crunchy chicken? Well, that's how I try to make my chicken. But if you're saying crispy, crunchy is a brand, I can't say I've ever heard of it. And testing this last piece here. You know what? I might actually want to drop this in for another minute or so. Yes? It looks like it's kind of like it's cooked. Like I said, everything that's cooked on the outside is not cooked on the inside. Okay. It could have been more expensive. Okay. The outside is good. But when you get to the middle, you can't eat it all because it's not fully. Okay. You can always microwave it too. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hi, it's gas station chicken, like at Shell and Chevron. That's interesting. Pets are more dedicated and loyal than family. I could say that too, yeah. My crackhead cat only likes me because I feed him. I think you could say that about all cats. Nonetheless. All right. Say now is the time. Oh man, yeah. In fact, the outer part is browning. So yeah, we're definitely done here. Oh yeah, this is also why I'm glad I'm doing it on a Sunday night. That way I have time tonight to clean up my mess. Among other things, I've got this big bowl of chicken buttermilk yet, which I think I might actually put a little bit more into here just to mix it up. There we go. Now this is looking more like it. All right, move a couple more things around. Try not to spill or drop anything. This will go away. The last bit of chicken will go away. And then we will heat this up for the onion rings. With the onion rings, unlike chicken, I'm betting the onion rings I could probably do this at 350. Like that at Taco Bell, best when you're drunk. Leftover chicken is the best. All right, we are currently at 282, 301, 313, 320, 24, 28, 30, 32, 34, 35, slowing down, but it looks like we've only a couple more minutes before it reaches 350. Nice. It's a good thing, too, because I've been at this for an hour and 12 minutes now. Still, it's been fun. Having you folks here certainly helps, so thank you so much. But this, if nothing else, only reinforces what I've said before, namely that I very much encourage everybody, if you have the opportunity, get yourself at least one really big cast iron pan because you will get a lot more use out of it than you think. Example being this deep fryer here. I mean, I've got, how many do I have? I've got 20 pieces of chicken here. Well, 19 since one has been eaten now. But how much? Yeah, I have a dog. Yes. But how much these days do you think a 20-piece bucket would cost at something like KFC? I'm betting, even though I'm using like about 3 quarts of oil here, I'm betting the cost of all this chicken plus the oil, probably, what would you say, maybe half of what you would pay for at KFC? I've no doubt. I have little doubt about that, which is sad actually. But I guess it's just how it is these days. All right, which means now for our next batch, and I want to do this carefully. So I'll get rid of this junk again. Here we go again. Here comes onion rings. Careful. Wow, look at it go. And what's more, as I said, this will probably be done in what, 3, 4 minutes? And the way this thing is fizzing up, might be done by the time the bubbles go down. And with that, I do feel like we are just about done here. Yeah, I'm not so sure this batter stuck to the onions very well. Oh well, you will still have fried onions nonetheless. Maybe next time I'll do a beer batter for the onions. However, I now need to get yet another rack for the onions. So let's do that. What can I do? You know what I'll do. Namely, just put a rack over that. Here we go. That might work, I hope. All right, don't want to burn these. All right, yeah, I have to tell you, unfortunately, it doesn't look like the batter stuck to the onions, I'm sorry to say. I'm going to have to practice that. Which means at this point, did you want to do fries? What? Well, the batter didn't really stick to them. I mean, they're still frying. We can still eat them. Say that again? Okay. Yeah, it's still eat. Yes, exactly. So bread them, then freeze them, then cook them. Yeah. No, I agree. Unfortunately, I did not. I will fully say that, yeah, I did not do these onion rings quite right, unfortunately. Oh well. Which means I've got one last thing to do before calling this a night. And besides, another excuse before I have to clean up all this mess. And that is, let's dig a bag of fries out of the freezer. Ugh. Sorry? Don't fry them? Oh, you just want it like this? Okay, I'll be fine then. All right, so it looks like this might be it then. Okay, which is fine because if nothing else, we've got 20 pieces of decent chicken on 19 to go through, so I can't really complain too much. A couple of years ago, we did beer batter onion rings and fish, and that turned out excellent. So I'll just have to use another kind of batter, that's all. Oh well, it's not so bad. However, it's hot right now, so that means we're actually done, as it turns out. Well, maybe. Okay. Looks like a piece of skin from the chicken. I think I might want to try one last thing. And that is, rather than throw these things out, I think I will attempt to make some kind of hush puppy things from this extra breading that's stuck to the rack. Careful. Plop, plop. There we go. This will help. There's this. That'll be that much less to clean up. There we go. This looks like it might actually be working. Ooh, careful. Do not want the oil to splash. All right. And I do believe after this, we're going to be done. I'm like, Val, keep cooking and treating myself on the hunt. You reuse the oil. How do you store it? Yes, that's what everybody asks, and I don't blame them because, yeah, it took a lot of effort and some cost to get this oil. A lot of people strain the oil and then reuse it a couple more times, which I might do. I'm not sure I'm going to have a need for frying stuff at any time soon. But the other option is simply, well, as I said, put it into empty soda bottles and then just throw it out with the trash. There's no pouring cooking oil down the drain. I think that's actually illegal in some parts of the country, maybe even here. Yeah, it looks like apparently, if I'm seeing this right, I'm going to be getting maybe about one, two, three, four, five, six, maybe about 6 or 7 little hush puppies from the extra breading. So that's not so bad. And then after that, I think we will be done. So thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for taking the time to come here tonight. As I said, having this conversation does make these live videos a lot more fun. Thank you so much. Popeye's biscuits leave nothing to be desired. Val, don't get the spicy chicken sandwich at Popeyes. You will regret it unless you like your mouth on fire. And thank you very much, Siroti420, if I'm pronouncing that right. But yes, what can I say? As I said, this is the Lodge fish fryer, which is definitely going to need to be cleaned. But that's my intention. Once the oil comes out, whether or not I reuse it, I'm going to wipe out the pan, get rid of all the extra residue and the like, and then bake this big pot in the oven at 450 degrees or so for like maybe an hour or two. That will result in a clean pan with an extra coating of seasoning, which was one of the reasons why I wanted to deep fry this so that I could refresh the seasoning on this thing. Things are looking pretty good here, and besides, there's no meat on this anyway. I'd say we're probably done. I'm turning off the oven. So these things are actually looking pretty good. Took the extra breading and made some hush puppies. Which means this will slowly cool off. And then comes the cleanup. Well, that's one of the downsides of deep frying. And that's one reason why eating out is so popular. You don't have to clean up. It's the truth. It's the convenience of it. And that's also why they can charge more for it. Nonetheless, there we go. Regardless of whether or not these onion rings turned out okay, we could still eat them. And as I said, we have all this chicken too. So thank you very much. Well, thank you, Soroti. What can I say? I'm just an amateur having fun with cast iron and very happy to do so. So I'm glad to share this, and I'm glad you folks, seem to like it. So thank you very much. And with that, I think we are calling it an evening, which means, of course, we have the rest of this week to look forward to. Oh boy. But that includes Cast Iron Wednesday coming up, where I have promised a pot pie as part 2 of my Walmart series. Until then, though, Yes. Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing, everybody, folks. Have a good evening. Thank you very much for your time. We'll see you later, and good night. And with that, we're done.